everyone. A very good evening to Unstoppable Passionpreneurs core team. You all have been a great help, and all the fellow members, architects, and everyone who showed interest in this topic. And I'm very grateful to you all that I am able to share this thoughts with you all. So a little bit about myself, and Deepak ji told about me a little bit. So basically, I completed my architecture in 2013, and post that I pursued my environmental architecture. And a few years back, I was a founder of ConstructDesigning, and we give architecture and interior services. So we always wonder, right, like what would be the future of architecture, like, you know, construction industry. I get a lot of these questions from everywhere. Ki kya hoga abhi architecture ka, construction industry ka, what will happen? So, you know, when I was working with a well-known architect, and in my journey, I have come across a lot of intellectuals and mentors. I thank them, like I'm very grateful. I got a lot of knowledge from them. So in one of the meeting, like we were having some meeting for this service flows. Oh my God, like they are very hectic to handle. So after the meeting is over, this my senior architect, he's around 60-year-old. He told me, you know what, Nidhi, I'm 60-year-old. I have so much experience in this field, but I still feel that I'm learning. I'm still learning. I have to be in that pace of learning. So that's how the whole conversation started about how future architecture would be and all of that. So, you know, when it comes to architecture, initially there was, you know, there used to be buildings like ground plus 1, ground plus 3 or 4. So, and that times the elevators were not even introduced. And we had like simple plans. And then came the elevators, and then we went till 7th floor. Then we went to 50 floors, then we went to 100 floors and 163 floors. So Burj Khalifa has 163 floors. So, oh my God, what mega structure. So did we ever imagine when we had ground plus 4 building that we would reach a time when we will build 163 floors? I mean, wow, what engineering, what architecture. So that is a kind of growth and development happens. So what is that influenced that kind of change? So that is one thing we talk about architecture. Then there is a lot of technology. Like I talk about technology, like smart homes have come. I mean, you can talk to someone who has come at your doorstep on phone. You can unlock your door from phone. There are stat parkings. I mean, every thing has a technological support. I mean, what drives that change, that technology to change? Then comes the materials, and materials play a huge role in architecture industry. So when I talk about materials, there is so much happening. I mean, there are eco-friendly materials coming in. There are materials which are made up of byproducts. Okay, so there are materials which are coming from the byproduct of a material. I mean, amazing. Like sometimes I feel like, did we ever imagine something like that coming in? So, and the human resources, like the skill set, like we ever imagined that, you know, when we were drafting back days, that we will come to a technology where we are using BIM. We can use, and the structures have become so complicated that we need BIM right now. It's the need of the hour. So people are getting aware of this particular technology. They know that the buildings are getting complicated, complex. So there is a lot of things happening in skill set also. And when I talk about skills, see, if one thing doesn't have, if suppose I tell you that there is a drafts person right now, would he get a job? Will a draft person get a job? No, but if he learns BIM, he upgrades himself, he will obviously come into picture and he will get that skills. So skills also changes. You have to understand that what pace you have to, you can't get stuck. Okay, मैंने कर लिया graduation, अभी masters हो गया, तो चलो अभी यही करते. You have to upgrade yourself and do that. And if you see, they all are interrelated. So if there is any innovation in technology, that will reflect in the materials, that will reflect in human resources, and ultimately it will reflect in architecture. So it's the whole cycle. Okay, now what do people need? People need roti, kapda, makan. People need shelter. So when I talk about shelter, see, first thing, any architect, any civil engineer, any interior designer, any IT guy, whoever is working or giving services or products is for people. It is for people. So we do everything for people, and people need architecture, so they are interrelated. So architecture is never going out of the picture, nor are people going. So it's the only thing that you have to keep with the pace. There are a lot of industries which is dependent on architecture. When I talk about chemical industry, waterproofing, paints, I talk about material industry. So there's a huge, humongous market which is dependent on architecture. Then I talk about technology. So there's a lot of technology which is dependent on architecture. As I said, smart homes. There are technology like, that automation system of parking and all of that. So there is a lot of IT support, even industrial people need. Okay, so that is one thing which is interrelated: architecture, industry, and technology. Then comes human resources, like the resources which are used for industries, for technology, and for architecture. Then there is infrastructure. So infrastructure, architecture, dono mil baith ke hota hai. So where there is architecture, there is infrastructure. Where there is infrastructure, there is architecture. So you have to follow that where infrastructure is growing, and that is the intention of the government, that okay, we need architecture to rise here, we need construction here, so this is the potential area, do something nice, do something creative. So that is the opportunity we have to look for. We have to find the right people to talk to, because even they are searching for us. And then comes professionals, all of us who are here, entrepreneurs. So this whole industry together is interlinked. So you know there's huge scope. You can see on the screen. Okay, now why I'm talking so much about architecture? Okay, for people who are not in this field or in this field, so I want to tell you guys that 80% of the time we are in indoors. अब मानो या ना मानो, हम लोग 80% of the time we are in indoors, which was not the case way back. So it is very important that we give people priority. We design for them, thinking that they are 80% of the time inside. How will you enhance their well-being? How will you enhance their mood when they are inside? Because that makes a lot of difference, especially in COVID-19. You know, there's a lot of things which are coming up that, you know, like people are getting lonely and all of that. That is because the buildings have become like that. You see one flat in per floor. I mean, what kind of community gathering you're giving them? So that is one of the things. So as rightly said, you know, architecture is not only about building, it's about people, improving people's quality of life. So I say that future of architecture is nothing but sustainable design solution to current problems. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Problem is that we are flooding every rainy season we are getting flooding. So NASA is estimating that in 2050, 36 million people in India would be affected. What are we doing about it? What? I mean, I can't see every year there is the same problem of flooding. So this is the kind of problems we have to cater to. Now see this. This was in 1900. I got this from NASA. You can see this. It's time travel, not the actual time travel, you travel somewhere else. So in this time travel, they have shown that in 1900, see how the temperature has increased. This is when my parents were born, 1965. And look at this. Look at this drastic difference. Just look at it. And this is the population data which was given by Population Reference Bureau. So they are estimating that in 2050, India will top the population, like 1.7 million. 1.7 million. So imagine the people who will be homeless actually everybody deserves a housing. You know, we need to come up with affordable housing. We need to create jobs. Of course, that is all there. But the population will need housing in the coming future. And with the population increase, there is a depletion, there is resource depletion. We don't, I mean, now most of the countries have banned cutting the trees. So we have to, take care of so many problems in a creative designing way. So what is that? What is creative designing way? So you have to find a sustainable design solution, as I said, to the current problems, which brings to the future of architecture. Okay, what if I told you that, especially in COVID-19 days, ki, chalo, I'll take you to the room where you get the privacy also. You can harvest food, you can have food there. Then you can have your social pocket there where you can meet your neighbors. You can have a walking track, yoga mat there on every floor, on the 50th floor. What would you do? So this is one of the project, which is bamboo nest towers. So basically, it's this proposal was given for the smart city of New York. Vincent did that. In 2050, they are expecting that this will be over. Look at this building. Like, it is enveloped by weaving of bamboo. And if you see inside, it's a vertical garden. And every floor has the building structure will support the farming of it. And there are, it creates its own energy. So there are windmills, if you can see. So it creates energy from wind. So that is the kind of innovation we should come across. Now look at this example. Now sea level rise and all other. I mean, did you ever think of giving a proposal like this? I mean, look at this. This is floating city. And this concept was presented by architecture firm, which is big, known as Oceanic City. And this was founded by J.K. Ingalls. So, he thought that, ocean is wide, like wherever there is a possibility that, the deepness of it is accurate and it can withstand floods. Okay, not tsunami, floods it can withstand. And also it is an answer for earthquakes. So he designed this particular floating city. Now look at his imagination. This is what he's aiming at. And when I'm talking about floating city, it doesn't have a foundation. It is floating in water. And look at this particular vehicle. It is air transport. At the same time, it is water transport. And trust me, future architecture is all upon your imagination, your design, and how do you present it to people and get it executed. And he has also proposed that he will have a system where it will auto clean the water through natural systems. So he will have the whole ecosystem below the water. So what do we have in our platter? As Indians, what do we have in our platter? So we have intellectuals who are into technology. We have a strong team in technology who will take care of that. Then we have automation. We have professionals who are working for automations. We have architects, engineers, all of us. We have industries for giving us materials. And there's a lot of innovation which can happen. And sky is the limit. So where are these opportunities coming up? Now I will show you this particular what Government of India is planning. So these are the areas, these are cities which Government of India has selected for smart city. And Government of India has widely said that we need smart people to come up with innovation. So that, see, even they don't know, they have just said that smart city, but they want people to come up with innovations and cater to all the problems which I said earlier. So it's a teamwork. So there is an architect also, there's a brilliant design, there is a brilliant interior design, there is a brilliant engineering, There's a brilliant IT professional who is working over it. So it's a teamwork. We all have to do it together because it's not a task for one person. One person can't do this, but it's a teamwork. We have to integrate the whole process. As rightly said by Socrates, that the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but creating the new. So this is one of the smart city, in the smart city website, you will see this, challenges where they have written that smart city mission requires smart people who actively participate in governance, and they have involvement not only for ceremonial participation but otherwise also. So they are inviting people to give us innovative ideas, come ahead, come work with us. And they have also told that we want smart solutions, we want more from less, from using less resources. So there is this body called SPV. So they plan, appraise, approve. Like if your company has come up with very innovative ideas, they will approve your plan and you will get the contract. They will give you that. So in India level, in this, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, so he's asking entrepreneurs like all of us, we entrepreneurs, he's asking people, come ahead, come for the growth of India as an economic structure, because he is alone, as I said. Yeah, it's not for one person. We need a team. We need integrated process. So he is asking people to come ahead, give your innovative ideas. And nowadays, because of this social media and everything, it is so easy to convey your ideas to people. I mean, pehle to architects were alien, like kaun hai ye? But now because of social media, we can actually discuss our designs. We can say that, what all is going on in architecture field and all of that. So it's a great medium. And, he is asking startups, innovators that you come ahead and give us all the ideas. So he has given us focus areas, there is water cycling technology. And if you see all of that, that all of that is connected to architecture industry. Everything needs requirement of technology, civil engineers, architects, because architects will put it in their design. So they need to be aware of what technology is going on and how to accommodate in their design. So all are there to conserve our ecosystem, our environment. So you can see the focus areas. You can have a look at that website. So I have registered it. If you can see, you have to just register it, and whatever innovation you have to share that innovation on this My Government app, and they will get back to you. So in our case, it's like housing and environmental innovation. So if you have any of these, you can do that. So what am I saying in this is, and you have to submit this project. So what am I saying in this whole presentation, my point of view is that we are the change, we are the future of architecture. If you go to see whatever innovation, whatever ideas you get from people, anything, it can be art, architecture, engineering, anything, you have to convey that to the right people. And success is no far, So I would end my slide by asking these basic questions. Whenever you're giving a service or a material or a product to anyone, ask these 3 questions. Are you easing the task for your client? Are you removing the burden from the client? Ki acha chalo isko de diya project, now I don't have any burden. So are you doing that? And if the answer is yes, you're doing a good job. If no, then reach to yes. So whatever design solutions you have, IT solution, engineering solutions, are they impacting on the environment in somehow? Are your habits, behavior impacting on the environment in somehow? Because ultimately this is our home, earth is our home. We have to preserve it, conserve it. So you have to think about environment now because it's high time. And what impact you're doing to the society. As I said that, like now, so there's single building with one unit on per floor. I mean, how can you expect a community engagement? Kahan milenge terrace pe ya niche road pe? So that is the thing, you have to give that social pockets where they can come meet. I mean, there's a lot of, see, initially there was no like, you know, we need amenities or we need this. But now things are changing. People are getting smarter. So you have to give solutions according to them, what people want. And last, you have to solve a problem. You have to, your services, your products have to solve a problem. So that would lead us to a better and reliable future architecture.